You're listening to the Telltale Channel. Don't forget to check me out on all social media: Patreon, Twitter, Teespring, and Etsy. All links can be found in the description or on my website, telltaleatheist.com. Next article I wanted to take a look at is entitled "Kentucky Christians Win Fight to Spread COVID-19 Via In-Person Church Services." This one's by Hemant Mehta, again, on the Friendly Atheist. To catch you guys up, a couple of weeks ago I was talking about Andy Bashir. He basically made this agreement for Easter Sunday. He said, if you guys want to go to church on Easter Sunday, fine, but we're going to have police going around to every car, taking down license plate numbers, and putting a notice on your car that says, you are obligated to socially quarantine yourself for 14 days after that event. We're going to be turning the names over to our local CDC, and they're going to be following up to make sure that you're quarantining. That's a perfectly fair trade-off in my mind. Perfectly fair trade-off. If you want to go celebrate Easter at church on Sunday and put yourself in danger, fine, do it. You're welcome to do it, but you have to quarantine for 14 days after that. I couldn't have come up with a better idea, honestly. It's a really solid trade. It's a fair trade. So that's where we left off with this guy. Let's start on the article and see what it says. Last night, a federal judge blocked Kentucky Governor Andy Bashir's temporary ban on mass gatherings, opening the door for a hell of a lot of in-person church services tomorrow, where COVID-19 will inevitably spread among the Christians who wrongly think they're victims of a conspiracy. Gatherings are allowed over the internet. You still have a right to assemble. You just can't assemble in person, physically, within 6 feet of each other. It's just not good for public health. Their irresponsible actions could then affect all the people they come into contact with. There were multiple lawsuits making the same basic argument, that religious freedoms of Christians were under attack. It wasn't just Christians not allowed to gather, okay? And Christians are perfectly allowed to gather. They always have been. They just have to do it over the internet. They can't do it in person. That's the only bar here. And not just Christians, literally everybody. We're all in this together right now. The world is in this together. And your stupid ass is complaining about it. Like, give me a break. One group of Christians at Maryville Baptist Church became furious when police officers placed warnings on cars outside their church after they held an in-person service in mid-April. Perfectly fair trade-off, honestly. You want to go to church? You have to quarantine for 2 weeks. I couldn't have come up with a better idea myself, honestly. They soon turned the persecution dial to 11, saying that their situation was analogous to Japanese Americans who were placed in internment camps in the 1940s. Oh, please. Why don't you talk to George Takei about that? He grew up in one of those Japanese internment camps. What a joke, man. This is really, truly sad that these people are so deluded, honestly. Last night, they won the exemption they sought, but only for their church. A different lawsuit filed by Tabernacle Baptist Church in Nicholasville is the one that will now open the door for widespread gatherings in churches. That ruling by U.S. District Judge Gregory F. Van Tatenhove said that Bashir didn't act maliciously, but his restraining order failed to include a compelling reason to limit the right of people to gather for church. Really? A compelling reason? There's no compelling reason? Are you serious? Millions of people are sick. Tens of thousands, coming up on 100,000 people are dying just in this country alone. It's increasing exponentially. There's no compelling reason, not one that you can think of. Apparently, you might die and or infect everyone you meet isn't compelling enough. Thank you, Jesus. The judge also failed to note the differences between places like grocery stores, where people don't chat, go in and out as quickly as possible, and buy life-sustaining goods, and churches that could easily be held online. Yeah, you can get the same exact service from a church online that you get in person. The exact same information being provided. Everything's the same. You're just safe if you do it online is the main difference. It's absolutely ridiculous that people are claiming this persecution complex. If social distancing is good enough for Home Depot and Kroger, it's good enough for in-person religious services, which, unlike the foregoing, benefit from constitutional protection. We have to get food to survive as a species. Do you understand how that's different from going to church versus holding church services on Zoom? This is outrageous. Like, how are these people alive? I swear, people are so fucking stupid sometimes. That's like my mantra. People are idiots. I got on Reddit recently, and like every other post is somebody doing something really stupid. That's my mantra. People are idiots. The end result is that churches in Kentucky will be allowed to meet in person, provided they adhere to social distancing and hygiene guidelines, but there's really no way to verify that's happening. People who haven't seen their friends in months will inevitably talk at close distances, hug, and breathe communal air. This is a disaster waiting to happen. They could listen to sermons online, but these people aren't interested in private religion. They need public displays of piety, or else it doesn't count. That's a solid point right there. Really good point. And if others suffer, too damn bad. More people will die because these Christians reject science, wrongly think Democrats are out to get them, and value their wants over everyone else's needs. That's their MO. I mean, that's how it's been. That's why the work that Hemant Mehta does on The Friendly Atheist and that other YouTubers do is really important. Make sure that people know that this shit is going on. These people are selfish pieces of garbage sometimes. It's just extremely sad. The whole thing is extremely sad.